Hi everyone, welcome to the session of our web series, Fireside Chat with Champions, in which we interview global business leaders and persons of eminence, asking them crowdsourced questions relevant to the biggest challenge we face today, COVID-19 and its impact on various aspects of business and the way we can steer ourselves in current uncertainties. Today we have a very special guest with us, Zulfikar Ali Bader. He's from Pakistan. He's founder and CEO of Institute of Vision and Leadership. The institute was founded with the idea to develop, train, mentor, coach the current leaders from all sectors of the society and the new emerging leaders, especially those young talented persons untapped so far, especially hailing from underprivileged segments of the society. Zulfikar, who is also CEO of the Badr and Badr Law Associates and executive member of Pakistan Industrial Alliance Foundation, Vice Chairman of Young Entrepreneur Development Committee at the Federation of Pakistan Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the convener of youth development at the Lahore Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He has also been part of a lot of global organizations, including World Economic Forum, where he is a young global leader, a life member at the SAARC Chamber of Commerce, and Vice Chairman at SAARC Chamber Young Entrepreneur Forum. Zulfikar is an alumnus of Harvard Kennedy School of Executive Education, SET Business School, University of Cape Town, Ashland University, and Punjab University. Thanks, Zulfikar, for accepting our invitation. I would request you to let our viewers know a bit more about you and your current interests and activities.
Thank you very much, Deepak, for inviting me. It's such a privilege and honor to be a part of your beautiful webinar. You have been doing it with all the champions around the world, and I am very much honored that you have taken me on board with all those champions, with the young global leaders. Thank you very much for this privilege, and thank you for the beautiful introduction you have given to the public, for the public at large, every person who is watching this webinar, this recording. Deepak, basically, I belong to the city of Lahore. I was born and raised in this city. I went to the school in this city. I went to the college, Government College Lahore, which is one of the finest and prestigious institution. Then I went to Punjab University Law College, from where I did my all family, the maternal side and the paternal side, they both belong to Lahore. So this is my background, and I did my MBA back in 2001 from Ashland University, Ohio, and then later on I came back because my father, it was a dictatorship of Musharraf. My father got arrested, so I didn't join the Walt Disney, where I got selected to start a rotational job. So I left that. I came back. I started pursuing the case. In 2003, my father got bailed out for a few months. I couldn't get a job because there was 2 years difference after I did my MBA. So that was my fourth degree. I did my 2 bachelors, and that was my second master's. First was with MBIT from National College of Business Administration, and second was with 3 majors. So then I started teaching in National College of Business Administration, and later I joined a local bank where in the morning and evening after 6 I was teaching, and from 9 to 5 I was working in a bank. I started right from scratch, and 2 years I was working in this local bank. Then after 2 years I left this bank on a note that my potential is being underutilized. So I left. I told my family that I can't work there because there's no growth, and I have a lot of potential that I must utilize that somewhere. About a month of a gap, one of my colleagues said, there is this person, he wants to see you. So he took me to him, and they interviewed me, and the City Group hired me, and they wanted to expand their business. So I worked there for 2 years. While I was working there, our party leader, Shaheed Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto, she was in exile in England. So she was giving party tickets to all the candidates who have applied. So I was the fortunate one that she gave me the party ticket to contest from the city of Lahore, from the constituency from where her father, Shaheed Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, contested the election. So that was a area known as Kod Lakhpat. So he stayed in that area called Lakhpat, where there is a famous jail called Lakhpat. So when I was born in 78, my father and Mr. Bhutto, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, so they were together in Kod Lakhpat jail in Lahore. So at that time, the good news to my father was given that you have a baby boy born. So that news went to Mr. Bhutto, and he's like, "Can you send me the picture of a baby boy?" So that picture uh, was sent by my father to him, and so he wrote a few words behind my picture, and that's a very historic picture. Is still with me. My father has printed that picture in his book How to Be a Leader, when he wrote that book while he was in jail for 2 years from 2001 to 2003. So then his wife, the wife of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto Saab, Motarma Nusrat Bhutto, they came to our house and they said that Mr. Bhutto has asked me to name the child after him. So that was the historic moment that I was named Zulfikar Ali Bader. So that's how my name was given by him, and that was a historical moment. So my first birthday was also celebrated in Kod Lakhpat jail, where my father was. So even after so he came out and then he went again. So after every year or so, he was out of jail for a couple of months and then he is in jail. So even in 83, when my brother was born, so at that time period, again, my father was in jail. So in 85, when my sister was born, so he was house arrested at that time. So we have seen a lot of good and bad times, and we have seen very difficult times while the times of dictators in Pakistan. And my father was the only person uh, for the restoration of democracy that he was arrested during the four dictators from General Ayub Khan, General Yahya Khan, Ziaul even lashed him 10 times. He was the first person to get convicted from the military dictatorship, military courts in 1977. And then General Musharraf, he also put him in bars for about 2 years from that by that was a difficult time that we have seen, but we have seen times from jail to palaces. We went to all the head of the states. My father went, and in some of the places I also went with him, and had that experience. So this is it. And then back in 2003, late November, November, I joined a local bank. Then I told that in 2007 I got a party ticket. I contested the election. I lost with a very narrow margin. Then I stayed in my constituency. I worked in my constituency for about 5-6 years. And then in 2013, my party did not give me a party ticket and I was fortunate that the party didn't give me the ticket because my party lost the election very badly because of a number of reasons that I don't want to mention here. So later in 2010, I started volunteering with the Lahore Chamber of Commerce, Federation of Pakistan Chamber of Commerce, and SARC Chamber. So I was working with them on different committees. I was heading the Youth Committee, Diplomatic Affairs Committee, Media Committee, and other committees. And I was chairing that. So in 2014, as a vice chairman of the SARC Chamber Young Entrepreneur Forum, so we holded this SARC Youth Conference in Lahore, where all the 8 countries of SARC region, they participated with their elder leadership and with the youth leaders, and we can hold it here for about 3 days. And after a year, then I got to know that in 2015 I was nominated as a young global leader, and I was honored by the World Economic Forum. And I'm very glad that I met you as a tech pioneer. I met a lot of uh, amazing people on this platform, and then I got a scholarship from uh, uh, different organizations where I got an opportunity to go and study in Harvard Kennedy School. Then I went to Oxford University, SET Business School. Then I went to Cape Town University, the Graduate School of Business. And there you go, and so on and so forth. But in 2009, so my the cases of my father were going on, and in 2010, he got, uh, you know, honorably acquitted by the court. So in 2009, so my father was a lawyer since 72, and he had been teaching in university for 5 years. So he asked me in 2009 that I should start going to the law office and start. So I did my law at that time, and then I joined the law firm. I started looking after the law firm. Since then, I am looking after the law firm as well. So my father passed away in November 2016. So this Institute of Vision and Leadership, where we want to develop, coach, mentor the young and the current leaders. This was named after my father. So it was firstly named Institute of Vision and Leadership. Then we named it on the name of my father, Jahangir Bader Institute of Vision and Leadership. So this is about it. That anything else, if you have a particular thing in your mind that you want to ask, I will share that. So since that time, the journey is on, and it's so on, and you have been a part of the journey, and you know, it's been a difficult time right now for the last 2-3 months. All the people, 7 billion plus population, have been facing this difficulty, and so forth. I am a part of it, like all the other people in the world, staying home, reading books, and you know, focusing on my personal development.
Great, Zulfikar. Actually, what you said is so relevant and so touching. We actually share a common history, so I understand the pain which you have gone through, because how the dictators and how the tyrants work in this part of the world, we know it very, very well. So I can understand the pain you have gone through, and congratulations for you being so strong, your father doing so much for democracy. That's heart touching. So my thanks to your family for doing so much for your nation, and in I'll say that indirect way for our nation as well, because we also need that a strong democratic Pakistan is the dream of every Indian as well, because then we can have a lasting peace. So that's great to hear. And I would also like to compliment you that actually I've met also a lot of people through World Economic Forum or all other engagement. You have been one of the warmest people I have met. So like, you know, we interacted a couple of times, I think Tianjin and Dalian. So like, you know, you have been pretty warm, and that was what I believe. Like generally when people think like Indians and Pakistanis, right, they always believe that they won't be warm to each other. But that is what I'm saying, that I reciprocate your feeling, and thanks for doing that. So that brings us to a very, very pertinent question, which you also talked about. The world is going through a lot of issues because of COVID. And if you can see that, like, you know, these impacts have been not just economic, it has been on the level of the healthcare, right? We are seeing people dying across the world, whether it is India, whether it is US, whether it is Italy, and even in Pakistan, we are seeing the mortality. So like, you know, the deaths are on the road. Second thing which we are seeing is that the economic impact of COVID has been huge, because government are diverting their developmental budgets towards fighting something which actually they were not even anticipating. And the third thing is that for the common man like you and me, who are the citizens, right? For us also, there is the impact of economy, which is leading to a lot of job loss, which is leading to a lot of SMEs closing down. In this scenario, how do you see the global impact of COVID, as well as the impact of COVID on economy of Pakistan?
You see, there is a huge, devastating impact globally, and of course, Pakistan has been facing this impact as well, because Pakistan is not a big giant country like China or India or US or the European countries. So we have been facing a lot of problems because the democracy is new, it's the third term, the political maturity is not that enough, and leadership is uh, very, uh, I mean, they're learning how to handle the situations, they don't have a prior experience. So I mean, there is a lot of issues. So politically, of course, there is a lot of impact. Things can't be handled. There is a lot of support from the experts who are sitting behind the curtains, from the think tanks, and people who have experience. They're sitting behind the people and people of the government, and they are trying to share their experience. Economically, there is a huge devastation on the big businesses, on the SMEs, on the small startups, because small startups couldn't grow up because of the fact, because they were in a nursery where they were just about to start and grow on a particular lifeline, and that lifeline was closed. SME couldn't survive. In fact, they went down in the lane because the time where they were about to catch up and take off, uh, they had a big, devastative impact from this COVID or Corona thing, where all the businesses were down for the initial couple of months. Everything was down. There was no economic activity in Pakistan, just like all the world. Uh, so people couldn't, the economic cycle of transactions of trading of different goods were stopped. So that created a huge impact on every person living in Pakistan. Either he is from lower class, from lower middle class, the middle class, upper middle class, or the upper class, because all the business activity were closed for a time being. So that created a very huge impact, and it's very difficult for Pakistan for next couple of years or maybe more than that to come out of that economic devastating effect. So socially, people have been traumatized, and they have been under a lot of stress, and because of that stress that comes from either economic condition or social conditions or health problems, so that has given them a low immunity, which has caused them health problems, and most of the people may have survived, but some of them have, lost their lives as well because of that stress. And uh, technologically, there are a lot of companies who have gone uh, virtual. They have gone, like all the uh, companies, or mostly companies who have a big setup of groceries and other daily household items selling, or other things that they can sell online. So they have very rapidly gone online and start selling their products online. So which is a good thing, that they had a parallel uh, system of selling the goods, and the IT business have gone. IT business have really, got this opportunity of getting new clients in their business lines, and a lot of people have gone virtual. As you and me are talking, that's how the business deals are being made, and people were talking from their home and uh, bedrooms, and they were doing business, and their business deals were ongoing. So, and legally, all the courts were closed, and there was no court. Only some of the emergency cases where somebody wanted to go in a court, if that is a very, very urgent matter, so courts can cater those. Otherwise, the courts were closed for about more than 2 months. And environmentally, uh, planet Earth was the biggest beneficiary because there was no road, uh, no car on the road, no dust, no pollution, and everybody was resting. And I mean, environmentally, that we have gained a lot. And health-wise, I've already told you. So this is my personal observation. And Pakistan, they have opened the lockdown, and we are in under the smart lockdown that we close the shops for on weekends, Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, we are open till 5 and 7. Some of the uh, shops are open till 7, but most of them are open till 5, from 9 to 5. I mean, the norms have changed. The norms of different things have changed. We will discuss it later on. That what are the norms? I wrote uh, my article on life during and after Corona. So we will discuss that as well. So this is my observation that I've shared it with you.
That's right. In fact, that's one of the questions which I'll be asking you in when we move forward. So, Zulfikar, actually, I would like to understand you. You raised a very pertinent question that, or pertinent view that the technology-driven industries, right, have benefited or are they doing better. Unfortunately, we have seen that there were a lot of hurdles in the startup ecosystem in Pakistan, especially when it is for technology, right, policy making, right, support in form of funding, right, support in form of people being accepting the adoption of technology, right. Now those things you'll find that have become a little bit easier. How do you see the startup ecosystem of Pakistan going forward from here, especially the technology driven startups?
I am very optimistic about it, and I see a very bright future in the technology business for the new startups. Because technology, digitalization, information technology, science and technology, artificial intelligence, robotics, this is the future. This is the future world, and everything has to be digitalized. I wrote an article on digitalizing e-governance, going the transforming of codes from regular codes to e-codes, and then I'm on under the article is under process that I am writing, so that is on e-economy. So digitalizing economy. So basically everything is going digitalized. Everything is going e the e-business, the e-commerce, the virtual business. That is the future of everything. Everything has to go on a technology, digitalization. And for new startups, and the ecosystem of it's not very friendly and not very, you know, uh, what do you say, that is very user friendly for the new startups, but because people are not adopted to adopt the new change in Pakistan, because they have a transactional style of living. They don't want to transform and adopt a new norm or new culture or a new tradition. So people like to do unless and until that has been thrusted upon them. So you have to make them understand that going virtual, going digitalization, going on a technology, by using the technology in their daily life will make a difference. That will save energy, that will save their time, their money, their health, everything. And that will benefit the country and the nation and the uh, people of the country. Uh, this is what I feel. And in coming future, I see lot of potential, lot of rapid uh, uh, registration of new companies, IT companies, who will be starting off as a new startup and going virtual and digitalizing helping to digitalize or facilitating to digitalize the new startups other than the IT business. So the regular business will be going online as well. So Pakistan currently is a virgin market. Even less than 0.001% people have the idea of IT. And in the coming times, everything will be going digital on such a rapid speed that the world will be surprised that how Pakistan has used the technology to change the whole economy and the governance in their country.
No, I fully agree and subscribe to your concept, because I also believe that Pakistan is having this opportunity to leapfrog from the old economy times when actually there were a lot of challenges, and suddenly you are having an opportunity where a smart population, very capable population, would be able to leverage the benefits of the technology. Only thing I'm worried about, which I think you are trying to solve those issues, is that the leadership part of it, whether it's a business leadership or it's a regulatory leadership or the political leadership, to understand the nuances of digital economy, because it is very different than the, like, typically what we used to have old school. Digital economy doesn't work on loans, it works on equity. So you'll have to unwind a lot of regulatory things to ensure that the people can fund startups in Pakistan. So again, what I love about your activities, that when I saw what your institute is intending to do, create leadership across all the sectors. So I believe that digital transformation will get a lot of benefit in what you are doing, and you might be able to mentor all these people to understand the impact, at the same time how to get that impact to your doorstep. So that brings us to the question of, I would like to understand from you, according to you, what a CXO, that is a CEO or a CEO of a company in Pakistan, should be doing today, so that when things open up, when the impact of corona actually goes down, they still have some oxygen in their lungs and they're still surviving to pass on these tough times. Being a mentor to so many people and helping your, I'll say that, clients on strategic issues, I would like to understand from you that what do you think a CXO should be doing in the current scenario?
So I personally feel, if I have been a CEO of any company or in my law firm, what I have been doing, that I have been talking to all the employees in my law firm, and I have stepped down as a CEO, but I have become a mentor and a motivational person who started motivating the people, because people have problems in their houses. People have problems socially, health issues, other issues, economic issues, that some of the issues that cannot be described or cannot be shared with each and every person. So you don't have to get to know the each and every problem of every person, but you have to motivate them, inspiring by putting up inspiration, by mentoring them, giving them the guideline that this is a difficult time, that we all stand together, we swim and sing together. So economically, there will be a lot of support from us. Health-wise, socially, there will be a lot of help. In case there is some problem that they want to share, they must share. So that will be addressed with the support of the organization or as a leader of the organization. So that is the most important thing, because you stand by with your employees, you stand with your co-workers, you tell them that you are there in their difficult times. That is the most supporting thing, that they don't give up, because this is a time where you have to understand that you don't have to give up on anything. Whatever happens, you don't have to give up. Just try it, go and go on. For whatever problems, you have to face the music. Don't ever think of giving up, because that is the only thing that will keep them going. Because if they get a stress, because of course every person is going under stress, either it's social problems or economic problems, or economic problems hold them for earning, who don't have a business, who are knowledge entrepreneurs, or they are business entrepreneurs who have a business and they have to sell their products and earn. So the market is shut down, they can't sell it. Knowledge entrepreneurs, they are selling their services and there is nobody who is interested in buying their service. So they are also going through the same trauma. So one thing that will keep us all going, that is we have to overcome the stress factor that will save us from social impacts, economic impacts. For example, when this thing happened, I remember my father told me that when he went in jail, so he is like, I went in jail the first day, everybody was down in the jail. They had not shaved for so many weeks or so many days. So he's like, I went there, I got up in the morning, I shaved, I uh, got dressed up, I wore a new clothes, I ironed my clothes, I got a new clothes, and I was sitting just like, and everybody was looking that, where are you going? He's like, I'm not going anywhere. It's just a self-motivated thing. You know, you have to keep yourself self-motivated. Keep yourself motivated so other gets that energy out of you. That energy has to be there in you. That has to be transferred and transformed into others. That is a message that when other people look at you. So during this COVID time, when everything was closed, every day in the morning I used to get up and take shower, get uh, uh, do my shave and get dressed up, and just like I am going on some function, and my wife and my kids used to ask me, where are you going? I was like, I'm not going anywhere, I'm just sitting in my house. I am, and all day long I am just dressed up and reading books and writing. And then after a few days my kids get to know that, okay, so they followed me, and every morning they used to get up and they used to get shower and dressed up nicely, and everybody in the house was nicely dressed up. So this was one of the factors that we were not under stress and we were self motivated. One person has to transform that energy into others. So this was one of the things that I learned, and I applied it on myself, and then my family learned it from me. So this is one of the very important thing as a CEO, as the leader, as the mentor of the organization, as the head of the organization, that you have to stand and transform the positive energy to your uh, subordinates, to your co-workers. That will make a difference, that will create an impact, that will have a sustainability in your organization, and that will make you stand out. That will give you that energy that once you come back on the in the organization, you will be rejuvenated and you will start working like a fresh horse, you know. So this energy, this motivation that you require, and that has to be transformed, that has to be transmitted into other workers, co-workers, subordinates. I hope I have been able to, you know.
Excellent, Zulfikar. That was excellent, because that was the most important thing. Not losing hope is, I believe, is the only strength which is very critical today if you want to pass out this bad phase of life which all of us are going through. Now, I've kept the best for the last from you, and which is about, like, you're working on the protocol to live in COVID and post-COVID. You've been working on this topic which is very close to your heart. So we would like to understand what you are doing in that area, your views, and please let the viewers enlighten with your thought about, like, the protocol of life in COVID.
Deepak, the article which I wrote on life during and after Corona, this I wrote on my personal experience because I was in New York when this 9/11 thing happened. So at that time, when that incident happened, so after a few months, the life changed. The norms of the life, the regular things changed. For example, one of the main things that changed, the security agencies starting asking questions about every person who is a South Asian. Either you are a Pakistani, or you are Indian, or you are brown skin. They started stopping you and asking you, what are you doing in the city of New York, especially in Manhattan, you know. So then the protocols of the traveling changed after 9/11. It was not so difficult to travel before 9/11. So after 9/11, you have to go through a difficult phase that you have to go to the airport for about 3-4 hours before. And when you buy a ticket, you have to give your all information of your social security or your passport, of your date of birth, of your nationality. Then they have to go through your background check, and then they allow you, either you can travel online on flights or not. And same goes for the national flights all around the world, same goes for the international flights. Then they check you from head to toe, and in some cases they have to humiliate you, that they take off your clothes, they take off everything out of your bags, and they check every single thing. And then there is nothing, because every person who's traveling, they can't take anything like that. But it's just a norm, it's just a tradition they have made because of the strictness after 9/11. So after this COVID thing happened in this world, the corona effect, so life is a very different, uh, totally different on because the values, the customs, the traditions, the norms, everything is different. Because you used to go to your relatives or your friends, just like you go and ring their bell and you walk into their house and they welcome you. Because this can't happen anymore. You have to call every person, either he's your best friend, either he is your relative, he is your uncle, he is your aunt, she's your aunt, your maternal uncle, your cousin brothers, your cousin sisters. You have to call them before time, and you have to let them know that you are coming, and they have to give you a nod, either you are welcome or not. So this is again one of the norms. So either they give you that permission in this difficult time, they let you in their house or not, because mostly people are not interacting. So this is going to be life after corona. So the norm is going to be different. Again, in courts, when you are going to visit, in hospital, there used to be appointments, but every place, every business place, either you're going in court, you're going in the hospital, you're going to a business meeting, you are going to any place, you have to take an appointment. Now, this is very important. The norm is this is a different norm now, that taking appointment before going will be a normal norm now. And in schools, uh, the education, the online tuitions, the school classes, the university classes are going to be mostly online, because people will prefer, some of the people, they want to go in the class in person, but the universities or the schools, they are going to have this option open for all the people that who want to attend a lecture online. So they have to go virtual again, virtual online classes and tuitions. So again, all the newspapers, the media, and everything. So now the role of media and social media is very important, that they have to educate the people, to tell them. So the role of police and the law enforcing agencies is very difficult. Doctors and paramedical staff is very important, because you don't know who's the carrier of COVID. So first they used to get hold of you like anything. Now they have to get get a particular safety precautionary measures, a mask or a kit on them, in order to get hold of a criminal or any person who's not a criminal, who's a normal person, an innocent person. I mean, nobody knows. Even the person who is innocent, he doesn't know that whether he is a carrier of a coronavirus or not. So things are going to be very different in hospitals. In hospitals, if there is an emergency, you have to go and walk in, just like you go to the emergency and they take you there. So in all the hospitals, and right now it's a difficult time for hospitals, because they are they are going through the war footing crisis, but in the coming times when things are going to be normal, you don't know every person who is walking in the hospital what kind of carrier he is, what kind of uh, virus he is carrying into the hospital, and that will be spreaded by him to the other patients, and that will have a devastating effect. So uh, the person, there has to be one person standing in the lobby, emergency lobby of the every hospital, and they have to act and address to the every person, every patient who's walking into the hospital. So in even in India, I know that if a person is going in the hospital, they used to be 5-10 people of the family in case of emergency going with them in the hospital, you know but things are not going to be the same. The people have to stand outside the hospital. Only the patient will be taken, or maybe one person will be allowed to walk in with the patient in case of emergency. So this is going to be a different norm. The things are going to be different in hospital as well, the business and political aspects. The things are going to be different. People used to walk in, they used to hug people, they used to kiss small kids, they used to go for their campaigns and their political motivated uh, convincing. But the political leaders will be very careful now. The political rallies or the campaigns are not going to be the same, and economic activity is not going to be the same. The social activity, the social interaction of the people, that is going to change a lot. It has already changed, but in future the norm is going to be totally different from now what is happening now. And technology will be benefiting from this corona. Technology will be the most benefited. The healthcare and hospitals, pharmaceuticals will be benefiting from this corona times. And environmental impact. There the norm of environment is going to be different, as planet earth is the most benefited. So people will have to plant more trees and more fruits and other things around their houses and around their highways. I'm writing this, the planning on the smart cities for future, so that you have to plan for a plantation, huge plantation around the city, in order to make it more environmental friendly uh, city. So then the legal impact I've already told you. So these are the things that the life is going to be totally different what we used to have. So 9/11 was one of the turning points only for the travelers. Now in even in traveling, you have to be very careful that who is sitting next to you. Either your seat is clean, you have to take your own personal kit with you. Tourism is going to be very much affected from this, and the norms of tourism are going to be changed for future. uh, I mean, everything will be changed. I mean, these are few things that I have named and discussed with you. Everything will be changed. This is a break of change of norms, values, culture in the global world. Cause one could have never imagined that this will happen in this our lifetimes. So this is a time, and I wish and pray that, I hope that sooner the better things get better, and we adopt to the new norms, and we get to meet people on a new norms nicely, friendly, and we pray for the betterment of the people, for the lives of the people all around the world, from all countries, all regions, all religions. I pray that everybody will be safe and follow these norms, because you have to take precautionary measures, and you have to educate others as well. You have to look after yourself, your family, and you have to look after other people as well, whosoever they are. because life is very important and you have to be very careful in it. I hope I have been able to tell you few of the important norms that is the life after Corona, Deepak.
No, very well articulated. In fact, I fully agree with what you are saying that the new normal will be very different normal, and it's better that we understand it and we start adopting it. And on a lighter note, actually, I've been also traveling to US since 1990s, and believe me, I believe there are three different eras of traveling to US. One was pre 9/11, then pre 2008, and now we are having pre-Trump. I won't say Corona, right? So life moves on, and it was pleasure talking to you, and we got a lot of insight. And look forward that the world would improve, and maybe I'll shake hand with you in Lahore someday soon. Thanks a lot, Zulfikar, for meeting me and having this discussion.
I will be very happy to have you in Lahore, and I wish all the very, very best for the people of India, for your family, for your friends, and everybody around you. I wish all the very best for you.
Same from my side. My regards to all your parents and your family, and I believe that everybody stays safe in Pakistan. Thanks a lot. Pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure as well. And what a wonderful session we had, Deepak. Thank you for this opportunity.
Same. Take care. Good night.